way it's funny that the Guardians are playing the way they're playing? Because this is the most discussion and hype and talk that people had in the first week of July about the Guardians in quite some time. When they're leading the division by 4 games, where it's like, oh, well, good for them, great. They're not. You have a lot of questions about the roster and Stephen Vogt, and everybody's up in arms freaking out about the Guardians. It's the most talk I've seen about this team at this juncture of the season in quite some time. They are who they are, man. They are who they are. And I kind of tried to temper some of those expectations in preseason. Did I expect them to go on a 10-game losing streak like they did? No, it's over on hell. Yeah. Couple of wins. Get to the All-Star break. All the discussion about trading Clase, we'll get to that coming up. But this Guardians team, I think I have a different view than some out there. Not all, but some that are up in arms about the front office and ownership and vote and the roster and all that. We got to break it down. We got it coming up. Plenty of football on today's show. Terry Bradshaw going to the defense of one Ken Pickett. Ryan's not even heard what Terry Bradshaw had to say about Kenny Pickett.
I can only imagine.
You're very excited, I know. We'll get to that coming up. We also have pass rush rankings by execs coach. Jeremy Fowler does this every offseason. One of my favorite things of the offseason. He goes around every position. It's not media, it's people in the NFL. Where did Myles Garrett rank? We'll get to that. We got the grid. We got it all for you right here on the Fontana Show. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. Hey, is Ryan Tyler. So happy to have you alongside on this week's edition of the show. Of course, check us on Big Play Thursday nights on the social side of it at Matt Fontana Show. Instagram is Big Play. YouTube is Big Play. And download that awesome and amazing Big Play app on Roku. You can also check us out on YouTube, like I mentioned, presented by our great friends, Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, and Pure AV. And Fridays on the Rock at 4 o'clock. So Ryan, Guardians get a couple of wins. They end the streak. We're recording our show a little earlier. We're on Wednesday. So they have one more game, then we get to the All-Star break. And I understand some people's frustration with this team. They at times play really bad baseball. And there are games that they just somehow don't mesh amazing pitching with hitting, and other games they put up runs and the bullpen can't hang on to it, all right? Or the starting pitching is not good to begin with. And I joke, there's got to be a stat about flushing good starts down the toilet. Find that sabermetric.
You've been doing that since,
bro.
Well, in my life, well, you got
Klubered. That's what they used to call it when you got Klubered. He'd give up 1 run over 7 innings, and we can't score anything. That happened to Logan Allen. It happened to Slade Ciccone. Gavin Williams puts up good starts. The offense, not going to do anything for you. I'm glad people are mad because it means you care. It means you want this team to be something better than they are. And I got to tell you, I just think this is unfortunately who they are. Their offseason moves was putting not all their eggs, but like what Carlos Santana is playing like Carlos Santana expected. And every time I see a Josh Naylor home run on the MLB account, everybody freaks out. Okay, he's having a fine season over there in Arizona. By the way, you got Slade Ciccone for him. That seems to be a win at this moment. And I'm not trying to overreact to a couple starts from Slade, but damn, right? Like, you've watched baseball your whole life. I've watched this team my whole life. This is kind of the microcosm of who the Cleveland baseball team is. Indians, Guardians at times, right? They have to play on the margins. They got to play good defense, which they were not. They had a timely hitting, which they haven't. They're not going to win games when they shoot themselves in the foot. Their moves are amplified. Unfortunately, one Carlos Santana move that's not panning out can sink a team like this. They keep giving him at-bats. Okay, they had to make some roster moves. Manzardo, by the way, shout out to Kyle Manzardo's mom. She had a heart transplant surgery this week. That's why Kyle wasn't away from the team. So I hope everything went well. And shout out to the Manzardo family. I hope that's, man, what a situation there. But, like, they bring up Will Wilson, which bothers everybody because you're waiting for DeLauder. And we've talked about DeLauder and Kafis on the show and Brito and when they're all coming up. This is, I think, what this team is. Now, the difference is they can compete. I expect better from this team. I get angry when I see this team be screwing up like that, but I'm also not somebody that's sitting here saying, well, if they would have just done this or done that. Like, I get the want to bring up the Lauder and the young kids. I don't know how much that's going to help. And I really think they're going to hold out until the very end to do that. I go back to something Stephen Vogt said, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said, when you make a move, that signals a disbelief in the team that you have. And I get where he's coming from, but also, like, eventually you have to do it. And it's almost like they're being spiteful. Like, they're not bringing these guys up just out of spite. I'm starting to have some real issues with Stephen Vogt. Not just in-game decisions, like pitching changes and all that, but, like, he gets up there. I think Stephen Vogt is trying too hard to be Terry Francona. I really do. Where he is so bought in on the guys on this roster. Like what did we always say about Terry? He was loyal to a fault with some of the guys that were on the team. And that's what everybody loved in that clubhouse about Terry Francona. Is Stephen Vogt being too loyal to some of these guys? And I get that it's a front office decision as well. But, like, then he comes out and everything is good. You know, he's not freaking out about defense. You should have been. You were horrendous at defense. And nothing ever to get up there and go, we're just not accepting this. It was all, you know, stay calm. Everything's okay. Like, dude, sometimes you got to break a foot off. Sometimes you need to get thrown out of a game. Like, there were a couple of games that I saw some just horrible umpire. Dude, rile these guys up. Get out there, do something. Sophomore slump. I think there's a sophomore slump right now with Stephen Vogt. All right. Does that mean I want him out as my manager? No. I think there's a lot of promise there. But we got to remember, too, he's still learning on this job. Last year was all sunshine and rainbows, right? Dude, you put that team in the playoffs. You did things nobody expected. How do you manage through a 10-game losing streak? How do you manage when there's serious issues with the roster? He's going to learn and hopefully be better for this moving forward. You know, I get all the betting props sent to me. You know, next MLB manager fired, right? Stephen Vogt was like fourth on that list. They're not firing Stephen Vogt, and I don't want them to. This is a learning process for him. Doesn't mean I got to like it, but there's just some things right now that are bothering me with Vogt. And again, as long as he learns from it and can be better for it, we'll be all right. But for the people that are really up in arms with this Guardians team, that is just who they are. You might not like that. You might not accept that, but it's just the truth. And the sooner you can understand that, I think the better off you're going to be. We want this team to win. We want this team to compete. Ryan, I don't think this is going to be the year for us. Prove me wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. Now, next year, because we've talked about this, the Guardians' MO is they do things when you don't expect them to do anything. This year, there was a little expectation. Now, we got to remember in preseason, they were not the favorite to win the Central. They were, third, right?
Yeah.
So this is one of those years that maybe they were more lying in the weeds. But, Ryan, I look at this team, and I'm as frustrated as anybody because I want them to win, but I also sit there and say, well, when you're trotting out the lineup that you are, you kind of get what you deserve. And I'm also not one of these people that freak out about the Dolan spending money. It is what it is. I've always understood it. Doesn't mean I have to accept it, but I understand the situation that we're in.
Yeah, we're kind of reaping, the rewards of when you're 3 wins away from the World Series. That's normally when a team would expect to go all in for next year because you realize the talent you have. And you traded Josh Naylor, a 100 RBI guy, which I understand struggles in the postseason. A lot of people were fine to see Josh Naylor go. Andres Gimenez go as a platinum because you don't want to pay him all that money. I get it. But at the same time, I don't think it's... He also couldn't hit, yeah. And I don't think it's a coincidence that... I know Andres Gimenez can't play every position on the field, but I don't remember the last time the Guardians had this many errors in this stretch of baseball. And it's tough. And in terms of Stephen Vogt saying, well, you want to stick to the guys, and that one quote you paraphrased of sticking with the guys because it signals something's wrong, well, it's not like you're totally shifting. You'd call up a couple players and chase the water and CJ Kafis. That's not a total shift on
what
identity
he's
on
going
offense.
to then is those guys need to get at bats that'll come at the cost of some veteran.
So what?
That's what I get it. And I guess Nolan Jones has been turning around a little bit. I'd love for him to pan out. Angel back to hitting a little bit. Rocchio. All right. I'd love Brian Rocchio to be able to stay here and hit, man. I'd love that. That'd be such a huge, and it's whether it's him or Arias. I don't really care. And I know Arias is hurt, but like if Rocchio can take advantage of this, that's kind of it's the problem with this team. It's a roll of the dice. Almost every night is like a roll of the dice. They do not have a strict identity. Okay, they got a really good bullpen. Are you getting a lead for that bullpen to be able to hang on to? Well, some nights, sure. Like, you don't have a powerful lineup outside of Jose Ramirez at this point. Steven Kwan's still Steven Kwan. And you're starting pitching like, flip a coin. I don't know what I'm going to get any given night from Bibee, from even, well, Saccone's been pitching really well. But like Gavin Williams, I don't know I'm going to get Logan Allen. Is Luis Ortiz even going to come back from this thing? Oh, boy, we have not talked about that. Oh.
Bro, it just slipped out of his hand.
Did you see the other video?
Yeah, I did.
Allegedly, if you missed that, Luis Ortiz was placed on administrative leave from baseball because they're investigating him for a potential gambling violation. Because there were some pitches that were like, was the first pitch of the game, right?
It's like the first pitch of the third inning.
Oh, first pitch of a certain inning. And if it's a ball or a strike, and those pitches weren't even close to being strikes, so people are wondering, like, was it in? There's another one that he struck a guy out and yelled the F word. Everybody goes, why would you be upset that you struck somebody out? That's not good. That's not. I'm not. Can I do a quick side tangent on that?
Mm-hmm.
Clip this and do this. I'm going to help out Adam Silver and Roger Goodell, and I don't want to help Rob Manfred, but I will. Send this clip to everybody. Hi, this is Matt Fontana. Big Play, Rock Entertainment Sports Network. He's Ryan Tyler. We do a great show here. This is to any professional athlete. You're going to get caught. Are you listening? I'll say it again. You're going to get caught. There is in no world, after all the examples that we have seen over and over and over again, when it comes to this gambling thing, and I'll expand it out to PEDs or whatever, you are going to get caught. Is it worth your buddies winning $1,000 for you to flush away millions with your career? I don't think so. Don't do it. It is way too far advanced. They track everything on these damn phones. Everything gets tracked on there. See the picture of my kids? Everything gets tracked on those phones, man. You don't think that a sports book's going to go, we just got a large couple of wagers here on the first pitch for Luis Ortiz in the third inning. What's up with that? Come on now. Come on now. Don't do it. You're going to get caught. Today, tomorrow, and 5 years from now, there's in no world that you won't. All right?
Here's the thing,
and
too.
I don't understand how this keeps happening.
Even if Luis Ortiz gets off, not scot-free, but is able to play baseball, but if you're a ball club and you realize that Luis Ortiz was, in fact, doing that, that's not a guy you want to throw back out there regardless.
I mean,
if you understand that he was, at one point, even one pitch throwing a game, in essence, to win some money.
That's a great point. Like, how do you face your
player?
teammates?
And in the clubhouse, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. If it comes out, I think you're right. If it comes out that Luis Ortiz really was doing what he was alleged to have done and they find any truth to it, the Guardians need to release him the day that happens. That's going to your teammates and going, this game was not the most important thing to me. You guys were not the most important thing to me. I don't know how you face a clubhouse after that. And it's rampant. I want to say rampant, but you get examples in the NBA.
Yeah, Malik Beasley's cooked.
Rozier got cleared. But, like, you're right. You're right. It's not even – that's a damn good point. It's not even so much that a suspension might end your career. It's that teams look at you and go, no way, absolutely not. And I get that all these sports, they're trying to nip this in the bud quick because remember the NFL, they came out with all those guys, Jameson Williams and all those guys, and they walked it all back because I think they wanted to make their point, and hopefully it stuck with a lot of these players. It's important. You shouldn't make light of it. I don't mean to, but it's like that. Bro, it's scary. It's a scary thing. But you're right. If there's any world that's truthful of what happened with Luis Ortiz or whatever he was doing, he can't play baseball for this team anymore. He just can't. All right. Speaking of guys that might not be doing that, trade deadline's coming. You do not trade Emmanuel Clase. I'm going to tell you why. We'll get to that coming up right here on the Fontana Show. You want to make a trade with that vehicle? You go to Fairway Ford, because here's the easiest thing you could do. You got a ride that you want to trade in, you will get the best deal that you can at Fairway Ford. Trade that vehicle in, upgrade to one of those beautiful Broncos there. The employee pricing is on. They still have so many amazing Fairway discounts on demo vehicles, and they can apply that right to the new vehicle. Just know this. You are going to get the best value, not only on your new ride, whether it's pre-owned or brand new. You're going to get the best value on your trade-ins. And that's how they operate at Fairway Ford. They have a big inventory because they like selling cars, but they like taking in vehicles as well. You know, we're beyond what it was a couple of years ago when nobody had vehicles and vehicles were hard to find. That is not the case at Fairway Ford. Hundreds of different vehicles on the lot ready to go for you. I see those Broncos all around town, man. Those seem to be like the new summer vehicle for everybody. But then, hey, four-wheel drive, it's a Bronco. It'll probably do well in the winter here as well. The Raptor edition, I see those a lot more too. The Bronco Raptors, man. I see the Ranger Raptors. They're all over the place. The Mavericks, they got all the vehicles that you could ever want at Fairway Ford. So you're thinking about trading that one in, thinking about that upgrade. It's a conversation in the Fontana household. My wife's got a car. It's got low miles on it. Know we good value on it. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be a Ford. My wife drives GMC. We could take that over to Fairway Ford, sit on down with Brian. Hey, we'd like to trade this one in. We're looking at that Bronco, maybe looking at another Explorer. They'll take care of you at Fairway Ford, especially if you tell them we sent you from Big Play or our show. They'll really hook you up. But the demo specials, the employee pricing, it is an amazing time to buy a vehicle right now. It is a great time to do it. So go check them out, fairwayfordohio.com. That is fairwayfordohio.com, and tell them we sent you right here from Big Play. All right, we got to talk about trading Emmanuel Clase. I'm not doing it. I'll tell you why next. Fontana Show here on Big Play, presented by Garage Beer, Pure AV, and Fairway Ford. Back right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
All right, everybody wants to get on board with trading some players away from the Guardians. I got a couple of steadfast rules, and I'm going to tell you why. They can't trade away Emmanuel Clase. It's the Fontana Show, part of the Big Play Sports Network. Catch us live on Thursdays, 4 o'clock on Fridays on The Rock. Ryan Tyler, Matt Fontana with you, as always, presented by our great friends at Pure AV. Ryan, did you see a new thing they're building downtown?
Yeah, the Cosm.
The Cosm. Think about the technology that we have in today's world. That you could be sitting there, the one shot was from the end. You could be playing middle linebacker, not really, but like your view is the middle linebacker basically of a football game. That's where technology is at. You could have some of that in your home with Pure AV. I don't think they could build you a Cosm. Maybe they could. I don't know. It is endless of what they could do at Pure AV. And, you know, we were out there a little while ago for our draft party. I was talking to Brad, and I was talking to Don, and just like, I'm like a lot of you out there, right? I have a home. I love my home. I have my little man cave downstairs. There are so many things at Pure AV I didn't even know existed. I didn't even know some of the things that they have from a technology standpoint, the automation, but really the surround sound. Dude, they put us in that surround sound room. Holy cow. It's you know, we talk about IMAX in the theaters, 4K, 8K. You can have some of that in your home. Then you can also go check out their golf simulator. They got a golf simulator set up in your home. You've been thinking about pulling the trigger on that. Go check them out at Pure AV. PureAVCorp.com. That's PureAVCorp.com. They'll help you out. They'll come right out to your home for an in-home estimate. But really, I suggest going down to their showroom because you could see everything. You can have that vision. And the professionalism on their side, when they sit down with you, the expertise of mapping out every single square inch of what you want to do, whether it's indoor, outdoor, they got it all for you. PureAVCorp.com. I am steadfast on this. Do not trade Emmanuel Clase. Don't do it. Here's the reason why. Number one, he has an extremely friendly team contract, right? Even for the Guardians, they can pay the money that he has coming up here, all right? And he is obviously well exceeding that 5-year, $25 million deal that he signed. Number two, if you were to trade him, you are going to trade him to a contending team. What is the only thing contending teams ever give up, Ryan? Prospects. I'm done. I don't need them. They don't even call up the prospects that we already have. And the final point, which is the one that I'm most adamant about why you don't trade Emmanuel Clase, this team can compete next year. I know you don't want to believe that. I know you're probably down on the guards right now with how they've been playing, but they are really only 2 moves away from being a contending playoff team again, as long as Emmanuel Clase is here. Same thing with Steven Kwan. I'm not trading Steven Kwan. And I'm also, as I said on last week's show, I'm not trading away prospects to try to improve this season. I frankly want no moves outside of maybe Santana and Lane Thomas. That's it. Like, why? Why would you trade Emmanuel Clase? I'm going to go to the other side on this for a second and try to say, okay, well, you get the most return because you usually get more at the trade deadline in baseball than you do in the offseason. Okay, fine. What are you getting back? Unless it is major league ready talent, I don't want it, okay? Well, you got to trade Clase because Cade Smith's your closer of the future. I'm sure he is. But you know what you do in that situation? You got to go find yourself another Cade Smith. You got to find somebody to go out there and be the firefighter, as they call it, right? Put the fires out in the 7th inning, 6th inning, do whatever. And then again, when you do make the playoffs, that guy to come in and do what Cade Smith did for them in the playoffs last year. There's a domino to all of this. I just do not anything else that I'm missing about why you would trade Emmanuel Clase, other than you know you're going to get a haul. You don't. I guess people would think you're not going to compete with him here. So what's the point? And Cade Smith's your closer of the future. Am I missing anything else on that, Ryan?
I guess if you believe Cade Smith can be as dominant as Emmanuel Clase is, and I know it's a long stretch, but Cade Smith has been pretty damn dominant. And then as well, if you get these prospects and you need, eventually they'll come up and start producing runs, but I understand the hesitance because they don't call up prospects very often.
Right. So people are doing it because they're angry. And in baseball, you buy yourself into this. You're either a buyer or you're a seller. You fall into this mindset that you're either a buyer or seller at the trade deadline. How about being a nothing? Just be a nothing. That's fine. There's really nothing wrong with that. Don't do anything. Because I really don't see an overwhelming reason why you would trade Emmanuel Clase. You want to trade him because you want to change. You want to trade him because you feel like this team isn't going to make the playoffs, so just jettison everybody. No. Just listen. The Guardians can compete next year. This season's not over, by the way. You had a really tough stretch of baseball that you didn't play well in. Schedule gets a little easier on the way out, right? You can compete next year. You can. With the players on this roster, you need to supplement with a couple of things, and you need to do better than Carlos Santana in the offseason and Nolan Jones. And I think hopefully they will. But you can compete next year. There's no reason to sacrifice next year just because you're ticked off this year. Don't do it. Just don't do it. There is going to be a time that they have to trade Steven Kwan. There's going to be that time, right? And think about Guardians trades for this in a second, too. They have made their money off of trading guys away right before they blow up. Corey Kluber, Mike Clevenger, Trevor Bauer. Lindor was different. He was always going to leave. I don't begrudge him for that. It sucked the way that it went down, but it is what it is. And you'll fall into, unfortunately, that with Steven Kwan. It's pretty apparent he doesn't think he's going to get the money that he deserves here. And unfortunately, he'll play for somebody else in a couple of years. He's got 2 years left, right? Emmanuel Clase is not that. Emmanuel Clase does not fit the mold of the trades that the Guardians truly do win. There's no push for me to trade him right now. There's just not. The contract is friendly. He's still at the top of his game. Okay, well, he's not as good as last year. He had a historic year last year. Like, come on. Can't do it perfect every time. That is one thing that's a non-starter for me. I don't want the Guardians to do anything. I don't want them to do anything this year at the trade deadline. Just play this. I know it's going to frustrate people because you want something right now. Call the rookies up. Make that be the move that you got, but do not trade Emmanuel Clase. Speaking of trades, the Browns made one for a quarterback when they got Kenny Pickett. Ryan doesn't even know what Terry Bradshaw had to say about Kenny Pickett. So, of course, he's speaking on him because they're both Steelers quarterbacks or former Steelers quarterbacks. He gave a little push there for Ken Pickett. So I'll tell you what he had to say. Ryan's hearing it for the first time as well. Appreciate you joining this week. Fontana Show right here on Big Play live Thursday nights at the Fontana Show on Twitter and on YouTube. Check us out 4 o'clock on Fridays on The Rock. Presented by Garage Beer, Pure AV, and Fairway 4. Talk a little football next.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
So Kenny Pickett is a very interesting case for the Cleveland Browns right now. And I've made it out that I think they're still going to trade him away before the season. And they're trying to push everything that they can to make it sound like he's going to win this job. Some people out there really feel like he is going to win this job. Just go listen to Deontay Johnson, right? Well, he got a little love from a former Hall of Famer. Welcome back, Fontana Show, presented by Pure AV, Garage Beer, and our great friends at Fairway Ford. Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler with you this week. So Terry Bradshaw was asked about Kenny Pickett, and he was on the To The Point Home Services podcast.
Listen to that every day.
Everybody's got a podcast. The To The Point Home Service. Why did they have Terry Bradshaw on? Hey, Terry, I got a leaky spigot out back. Well, let me tell you how to fix that. You go ahead and take your Pro Press out there. You cut your copper pipe length. You put that spigot on. Make sure you silicone it. And you put that bad Terry. Terry, I need to build a deck. Well, great. Dude, there's no way this would ever feed your algorithm, but it feeds mine. Do you know who Larry Hahn is?
No.
He's a carpenter. These videos have got to be from the 80s, if not the 90s. And there's just all these old videos of him framing a house by hand, like hand nailing. And somebody put these together and they bombard my algorithm. So I'm a dad and I'm old. I watch guys framing walls.
I watch guys cut grass.
Yeah, same thing. Google Larry Hahn. Anyway, back to Terry Bradshaw, who's To The Point Home Services podcast. He was asked about Kenny Pickett. Here's what he said. Quote, a first rounder got rid of him after 2 years, and they're still looking for a quarterback. Here's the important part from Bradshaw. They didn't even do anything to build around him, is what Terry Bradshaw said about Kenny Pickett's time in Pittsburgh. And I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, Pat Freiermuth was there, right? George Pickens was there. Najee Harris was there. The defense was really good. And I jokingly sent a tweet that I said, I was like, well, get ready for Cleveland, because I don't think they really built around him. Now they drafted 2 running backs. The offensive line should be better. But, like, for Terry to say that, and he said that before, that he feels like they failed Kenny Pickett. I wanted to bring this up, Ryan, because I have just had Kenny Pickett blinders on, where I just really don't think he's the answer. I really think they traded for him because they didn't have a quarterback, and they wanted to upgrade from DTR, and they did that. Maybe I really am misreading this whole situation. And maybe he really is the diamond in the rough that the Browns think he is, that everybody keeps bringing up. Former first-round pick, Terry Bradshaw. Steelers did no favors to him. Maybe he's it. And I will open my mind to that, because I'll open my mind about any quarterback that's going to get me out of this hell, okay? Any quarterback that's on that roster, I'd love any of them to be the guy. Maybe not Joe Flacco because he's a little older. But, like, I'm open to Shador or Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett. Any one of them to be the long-term answer. I hope it's true. I just still don't think it's Kenny Pickett, but maybe I need to start opening my eyes a little bit here. Maybe I need to start really thinking about the possibility that's Kenny Pickett. You laugh. Why? You're not buying it?
No, I mean, I've been steadfast on my stance. I think Kenny Pickett's going to start week 1. And I do think it's possible that he's a pretty decent, serviceable quarterback. But I mean, there's a thing called an eye test, and he has not passed it since he's been in the NFL. And he was a former first rounder, of course, so the talent is there. But his draft class, Matt,
is it though?
Absolute garbage.
You're
a first rounder. That's what I'm saying. You're a first rounder quarterback because teams are desperate. They need to draft quarterbacks.
Right.
And in his quarterback class, guys like Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, Matt Corral, Bailey Zappi, Sam Howell. Do I need to go on? No. Brock Purdy, the one gem in that draft class.
Because
so he was the first overall. Exactly. No. If I'm not expecting a career resurgence, a Baker-esque, a Sam Darnold-esque, simply because I think they're much more talented than Kenny Pickett is.
Yeah.
But this all just goes back to I want Kenny Pickett to start because you just find out if he's trash or not, and then you move on to one of the rookies. Instead of starting Joe Flacco, he looks decent, and you win maybe 2 of your first 5 games, and then you're just pushing back starting these rookies.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough situation for the Browns that they're in right now. Like, we've discussed it a lot. The winning the games versus seeing what you have with the... Like, Joe Flacco gives you the best chance to win games. I don't think that's going to change. I really, over the training camp, over a couple of week training camp, you really think that statement is going to change? That Joe Flacco is the best option for the Browns to win football games? Is that what they're trying to do? Is it more about seeing what these rookies have? Like, you will get to next year, and you have the 2 first-round picks. Yeah, it's supposed to be a better quarterback class. And the good news on that, I'm already starting to see, like, mock drafts, which, like, just I don't like mock drafts until the draft order is set. I never have. But, like, you're projected to have 4 to 5 guys going in the first round. Good. And you have 2 first-round picks. Browns don't need to tank. They can cross that bridge next year when they get there. They should be focused on winning games. And that's why I'll even join you on this. I'll say behind Joe Flacco, obviously the next guy to give you the best chance to win football games is Kenny Pickett. I think it's Flacco. I think he's going to start. I can't shake this that I just think Kenny Pickett's going to be somewhere else by the end of training camp. Maybe I'm wrong. Could be the complete opposite. He's your week 1 starter. But Terry Bradshaw gave him a little bit of love to try to help him out. Another Brown getting some love. Jeremy Fowler's off season. He always goes through the best positions by the NFL. And this is by NFL execs. He has 70 voters submit a ballot. These are all people in the organization. He did running backs on Monday. No Browns. Did defensive tackles on Tuesday. No Browns. But he did edge rushers on Wednesday. There was a Brown on the list. He's probably where you think he is. We'll get to that coming up. Fontana Show, Big Play in the Rock. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different. Visit infinityofbeechwood.com today.
All right, you got the Fontana Show this week on Big Play in the Rock at 4 o'clock on Fridays. Matt Fontana, Ryan Tyler, Pure AV, Fairway Ford, and Garage Beer, as always, bringing you our show. So Jeremy Fowler does a vote. This is one of my favorite things he does. It's always like in July, too.
Yeah,
and he goes,
when we run through
I love it. Running backs. We used to do it when we had our daily show. We do every single one. So it is running backs, defensive tackles, edge rushers. Then he goes safeties, tight ends, interior offensive linemen, tackles, quarterbacks, off-ball linebackers, receivers, and corners. We'll get to some of those next week. So we're up to edge rushers on this one. 70 voters. These are all people within the NFL, talent evaluators, scouts, coaches, all that kind of stuff, to cast their vote for the best edge rusher in football. Ryan at number 1.
Isaiah McGuire.
Incorrect. It's his teammate. It is Myles Garrett. He had a high ranking of number 1. Oh, here's an interesting one.
Okay.
Of all the votes, what do you think the lowest spot that Myles Garrett was put?
Somebody probably was bitter and put him at 3.
No.
2?
Somebody put him at 4.
Yeah, so that's just biased.
Somebody put him at 4.
That's just simply biased.
High ranking of 1, low ranking of 4. He is the back-to-back champion, 2-time back-to-back champion now. He was last year's number 1 as well. An NFL coordinator on Myles Garrett. There's a short list of guys you have to shift your fronts to, and Garrett is the first person you think of when it comes to how much of your game plan he occupies. Every single second on the field, you know what he's doing or what he might do next. Think about that statement.
Yeah.
In this game of the highest level with grown-ass men playing, they all circle and go, everybody watch that guy. Damn, is he good.
He's so good.
He's so good. Glad his contract, all that. Here's an NFC personnel evaluator. He's actually significantly refined his overall game over the last couple of years. A good tackle used to be able to give him problems, but that's less and less the case now. He's more consistent with his pass rush. That's an NFL.
Maybe I'm tripping on this, too, and
NFC
I'd have to look at the numbers, but just in the last years, I feel like he's cut down on penalties. But I could be wrong.
Well, he always is going to jump. I mean, that's just kind of what he does. He's just going to jump. I mean, he's trying to get that little quick move. I get it. But it also, like, I've always maintained this, which people always freak out about, and I don't, because you want to know why? When he jumps, as long as not like in a crucial, like, 3rd down in the 4th quarter, jump in the 1st quarter. It's a mental game. Because that tackle, he gets him off his timing, and he makes him think a little quicker than he should.
Is it like throwing some chin music?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yes, good call. You got to brush some guys back.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to brush some guys back. That's the game, man. And I think Myles does that. Here's the thing. Of that 70 votes that they got, for the 2nd year in a row, Myles Garrett got 70% of the first place votes. It wasn't even close.
Rightfully so.
Wasn't even close. So he is number one, as he should be, and he's paid that way. And he's going to be a stalwart for this team moving forward. All right, now we get to the interesting part. Who do you think number 2 was?
I'm assuming it's a guy next in line to get paid.
It is Trent James Watt.
Oh, okay.
Is that who you're talking about?
Well, he is in line to get paid. I was
It's not
actually
Trey
referring to
Hendrickson.
Micah Parsons.
Oh, yeah, I'll get to him in a second,
but
too.
people switch those two.
TJ Watt had a high ranking of 1, low ranking of 3. At number 3,
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons. High ranking of 1, low ranking of 6 for Micah Parsons on that. Interesting. Number 4.
Would that be Nicholas Bosa?
No.
Okay. Would it be Max Crosby?
Max Crosby is correct. At number 5,
Would that be Nick Bosa?
Nick Bosa is 5. 6, another guy that wants to get paid.
Oh, another guy that wants to Trey Hendrickson?
Trey Anderson, 6. Aiden Hutchinson, 7. Will Anderson, 8. Daniil Hunter, 9. Jared Verse at 10.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Honorable mentions, Grenard, Karloftis?
Karloftis.
George Karloftis, the Chiefs got honorable mention. All right, good for him.
Is Nick Bonito on there?
He's honorable mention. Good call. Good call. I saw a ranking of a few things. Offensive line was one of them. Dude, the Broncos,
Yeah.
they got a really good team out there.
They do.
They have a really good team.
They do.
People think they have the third or because obviously the Eagles are the best offensive line. Some people think the Broncos have like the 2 or 3 best offensive line and a really good defense. Watch the Broncos this year. We'll get to our NFL. Dude, we're gonna be doing our NFL preview show before you know it.
Remember the name
Buddy.
R.J. Harvey.
Yeah, but they also signed what's his nuts?
They got
J.K. Dobbins, right?
Yeah, they signed J.K. Dobbins, but I mean, Sean Payton doesn't draft a second-round running back just to not play.
I would agree with that. All right, speaking of these guys, some of these guys work for the Grid, some don't. We'll get to that coming up next. Fontana Show. Grid is next.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows, energy-efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
All right, you know how we do it here on the Fontana Show? We do it every week. It's just we like a fun mental exercise for us, for you out there, play along at home. And I do miss when people would send us live updates screaming at us when we miss somebody. Ryan, let's get to it. The Grid right here on the Fontana Show. Ooh, Cleveland
The Browns are indeed in this one.
You know, they couldn't put us on the other side about Super Bowl champ, but that's all right. Let's go.
Okay, I
do
think
it.
Patrick's won a couple.
Well, actually, I would say that the Browns have had guys on the team
I was
that have
gonna
won
say, they don't
Super
have-
Bowl
yeah.
champions, but I think it has to be with that team. Yeah, he got one.
we don't go for score here.
No, we don't. We don't. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? In good fun.
In good fun.
Well, can we think of another Eagles-Browns? I'm sure we can, because I was going to do Kenny Pickett, but
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Oh, well, Kenny didn't even play a
Pickett
game
didn't
yet.
win a Super Bowl.
you're right.
He
But he
did.
didn't play a game for the Browns.
Yeah.
yet.
Well, actually, I mean, Browns-Eagles.
Should we want to save the Browns, or we just want to rip them first? Let's just rip them first.
Let's just rip, get them out of the way, because then we don't think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think of another Brown Eagle other than because now you have challenged me to not pick Kenny Pickett.
Well, he hasn't even played a game yet, so
Oh, that's right. Good save.
I thought about that. We can't even
Good
use them.
save. You are correct on that. Oh, this is a deep cut. Marcus Bernard. But I don't know if I don't know if he actually appeared in a game for the Eagles.
All right, let's just go.
All right. Colts, Browns. I mean Hoyer, Ronnie Harrison. But actually, wait, don't do Brian Hoyer there because did he not play for the Cardinals?
I know Colt did.
I think Brian Hoyer did too. So
very
go
possible.
Ronnie Harrison. I know Ronnie Harrison works there.
2018 to 24.
Yeah. Still play.
Wow, that would have been
There
good
you
for score.
go.
Browns, Chiefs, Kareem.
Could do Kareem. You could. Oh God, who's that offensive lineman? Austin Ryder. Who sent there? All right. I think Hoyer works there in the middle. Like,
For Colts, Eagle, or for Cardinals.
yeah, Cardinals, Colt. I know he played for the Colts, and I'm pretty sure he played. You're right. I know Colt did, but I guess maybe hold off if we're
Browns, Eagles. I can't even think of one.
Is that not Miles Austin? I feel like I've screwed that one up before where I thought he played in Philly and he was actually a coach in Philly.
Yeah, I cannot confirm. nor deny. This shouldn't be that hard.
It should not be this hard. Oh, Josh McCown. Womp womp.
Did he play for the Eagles?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, he's played for damn near everybody. So, all right, here we go. All right.
Cardinals, Chiefs. Cardinals, Chiefs. Cardinals, Chiefs.
No, it's not Tyrann Mathieu, is it? He didn't play in Arizona, did he?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he not get drafted?
Well, Patrick Peterson, I know, played there. Are we not?
No,
Oh, he got drafted there. No. He got drafted in New Orleans, didn't he?
No, he's in New Orleans.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm pretty sure he got drafted.
Welcome to the grid. Welcome to it. I didn't rip it.
Are we sure he played for the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, 100%.
All right.
Okay. So I love the grid. So I love it.
Cardinals, Colts.
It's not Zach Ertz. I got it. Everybody's fantasy football name.
Oh, well, this is Zach Ertz.
That is Zach Ertz.
He played for the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. That is Zach Ertz. Well, all right. Okay, it's not Flacco. It's not Carson Palmer. Ooh.
Anquan Bolden never played for the Colts, did he?
No, that's a good pull.
Pat Pete, no.
No. Oh, wait.
I don't know if he played on the Colts or not.
If we can't come up with something else, we're going to rip Patrick Peterson. I don't know why. I don't like it. But for some reason, I can't. Okay.
Zane Gonzalez? Did he
That's a
kick
good
for the
pull.
Colts?
Wait, Prater never kicked in Indianapolis,
I don't
did he?
think so.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think Zane ever kicked in Indy. Like not Jack Doyle, Anthony Costanzo.
I don't think Kenyon Drake ever played for the Colts. David Johnson never played for the Colts.
No. Does Edgerrin James work? He
No
went
idea,
to
bro.
Seattle. Okay, I have a new leader in the clubhouse. It's Edgerrin James.
Okay.
If we...
Come on.
Did Stump Mitchell ever play for the Colts? I don't remember.
Beanie Wells.
That's a good pull.
Did Pat Tillman ever play anywhere else?
No, no, I don't think so. Kind of like the Edgerrin James pull. I don't rip it. It's Edgerrin James.
Is it 1D?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, he was the most
He was
popular.
number one. That's
Jeff
right.
Garcia was the most popular for the Eagles.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, Jeff Garcia kept you from getting Ben Roethlisberger because they
Nice.
signed him in the offseason and Butch didn't want to draft Ben Roethlisberger, so he drafted Kellen Winslow instead. Jeff Garcia, thanks for nothing. All right, wrap things up. Stay with us. All right, appreciate everybody joining us as always this week here on the Fontana Show. If you missed it live Thursday nights on the Big Play channel on YouTube, you can always check our clips on Instagram. I need to be better about Instagram. We post so many clips. I never repost them in mine. But follow us at Big Play. Download the Big Play app. And, of course, check us out on YouTube as well at Matt Fontana Show on Twitter X there. And then 4 o'clock, 4 to 5 on Fridays on The Rock. Appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be back post-All-Star. Did Emmanuel Clase deserve to be an All-Star? I thought so, but I don't know if the Guardians deserve 3 All-Stars. Jose damn well should have started as he is. I think Quan deserving to make it as well. Clase, maybe a little injury replacement if he makes it in. But we post-All-Star break. We'll be that much closer to the trade deadline, that much closer to football. We got it all for you. Appreciate you joining us. Thanks to our great friends, Fairway Ford, Pure AV, and Garage Beer. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. And as always, take it easy.